Breaking news. The European Union has just cancelled a massive $43.2 billion jet deal with the United States. This unprecedented move comes in direct response to President Trump's aggressive tariff policies. As tensions escalate, the world watches closely. Are we on the brink of a global trade war? Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel for deep dives into global power shifts, international drama, and the real stories behind the headlines. Smash that like button and drop a comment to join the conversation. The canceled deal involved the purchase of advanced US-made fighter jets, a cornerstone in strengthening EU defense capabilities. The abrupt termination not only signifies a significant financial loss, but also marks a potential shift in global alliances. President Trump, asserting that the EU has long taken advantage of the US, announced a 25% tariff on European cars and other goods. His statement, "They won't screw us anymore," underscores a hardline stance that has sent shockwaves through international markets. In response, EU leaders, including Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk, have called for unity and a firm stance against what they perceive as unjustified tariffs. Tusk emphasized the need for the EU to maintain dignity and strength in the face of these challenges. The fallout extends beyond the United States and the European Union. Countries like Canada and India are re-evaluating their defense procurement strategies, considering alternatives to US technology. The ripple effects of this dispute could redefine global trade and defense partnerships. This isn't just about jets and tariffs. It's about global leadership, economic stability, and the future of international alliances. As the United States and European Union lock horns, the rest of the world watches and waits. Will President Trump's strategy restore American dominance, or will it isolate the United States at a critical time? More importantly, what happens if other allies follow Europe's lead? President Trump wasted no time. Just hours after the European Union's cancellation, the White House issued a formal trade enforcement directive, authorizing up to $75 billion in retaliatory tariffs, targeting European luxury cars, wine, aerospace components, and even digital services. Trump took to Truth Social, writing, "Europe wants war, we'll show them who holds the cards. America first means American jobs first." Within minutes, markets plunged. The Dow fell 600 points, the euro lost ground, companies like BMW, Airbus, and even Apple Europe saw share prices dip. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen called the move economically reckless and politically dangerous, adding that the EU will not be bullied. The jet deal wasn't just a business transaction, it was also a strategic defense pact. With rising tensions in Eastern Europe and increasing threats from rogue actors, these aircraft were to play a key role in NATO readiness. Now, Europe is looking inward, and east. France and Germany are ramping up joint development of indigenous air systems. Even more concerning, they're considering closer defense ties with China and India. If that happens, NATO could fracture. Thousands of jobs connected to the aerospace industry, especially in Washington State, Texas, and Missouri, are now at risk. Boeing's production line was already stretched thin. With the EU pulling out, a $43.2 billion hole opens up overnight. Union leaders are furious. "We're tired of being pawns in a political game," one worker told readers. "We're Americans, but we still have bills to pay." Experts now fear this could trigger a second wave of layoffs, similar to the 2020 aviation collapse during COVID. Behind closed doors, diplomats are scrambling. Japan has put a freeze on new negotiations for advanced US radar systems. India is finalizing talks with France's Dassault Aviation. Brazil and Saudi Arabia are quietly exploring Russian defense contracts. Even the United Arab Emirates, a longtime US defense partner, is said to be in preliminary talks with China for strategic drone cooperation. QAnon groups are spinning wild theories about the EU being infiltrated by deep state globalists trying to sabotage Trump's presidency. Liberal commentators are warning that Trump is driving America into economic collapse just to secure re-election in 2028. Fox News calls it Trump's bold stand for America, CNN labels it a reckless act of sabotage against international unity. While the media battles rage, the real damage is being done behind the scenes. Sources in Washington hint at an emergency NATO summit to be held in Brussels, without Trump. The EU is preparing additional sanctions. And China? They're swooping in, offering Europe everything the US just lost, and more. Economists say the next 6 months will determine whether this is just a political standoff or the collapse of Western economic unity. You might not be sitting in the White House or walking the halls of Brussels, but your wallet, your job, your future, are all directly tied to what's unfolding. Will prices go up? Will jobs disappear? Will your nation be stronger or more isolated? The answer depends on how this next chapter is written, and who's holding the pen. We want to hear from you. Was President Trump right to impose those tariffs? Did the EU overreact by canceling the jet deal? Are we watching the beginning of World War trade? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if this video opened your eyes to what's really going on. Subscribe for more unfiltered breakdowns of global power plays and the truths the mainstream won't show you. And trust us, you do not want to miss next video.